We're in the zone. We're in the zone. We're in the zone. We're in the zone. Zone, zone, zone. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone. Zone. Hell yeah.
Yeah, brother.
You're pretty nice on that thing, bro. I've never actually seen you play.
Yeah, not many opportunities to play. I guess we're rolling now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep myself pretty busy. Doing sound nowadays and whatnot. But actually, I played a tribute show last week. But aside from that, it's been about a year of like not playing.
Okay.
So fairly out of practice, but try and dabble here and there.
I saw the tribute show. Was that Creed you were doing? Who was?
No, I did Bush, and I sang and played guitar for Bush, and then bass for Godsmack. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Like, it's nice to know that for me anyhow, it's nice to know that there's like an end date on the project. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because I typically don't have a lot of time with, to practice and learn new stuff or whatever. So at this point anyways, But yeah.
So that was just like a one-off.
Just a one-off.
Get together,
yeah, hang out,
set.
get down, and just get out, which was always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What about yourself? Got any Banana Crisis stuff on the horizon or stuff like that?
We got the Tap House Halloween Day.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's gonna be sick. Mm-hmm. What are you dressing up as?
Or
do you want to divulge that on your?
No, we can hit it. We're all doing sexy black cats.
Oh, nice. That's gonna be excellent, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like short booty shorts and all that or whatever. Crop top cat.
Someone might
vests.
do that. I'm thinking like the leather pants.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Like
Catwoman style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And we got the best sound guy in the business doing it. It's actually like your name's come up on most episodes here.
Oh, that's nice.
Where everyone's like, yeah. It was like, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, man. I started there like 5 years ago down at the Tap House, or 4 years ago, whenever they opened up. It was like kind of during COVID a little bit, but it's nice to be somewhere so consistently, I suppose. Because previously to being there, I was always, hired on by other techs or whatever, doing festivals and like boring stuff too, like whatever fashion shows and like debates and whatever. I don't know. But it's nice to be doing music more frequently, as it were, like doing sound for music.
Yeah, that's a lot more fun than debates.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Sure.
Yeah, man. You could like fall asleep at the board, and
Yeah.
but sometimes may have in fact fallen asleep at the board. Who knows? Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yeah, who's to say? I'm not gonna like out myself completely, I suppose. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's fun because you get a lot of variety. There's a lot of bands I might not otherwise have seen, or even just met people, like yourself and whatever. It's like it's nice to kind of get that fix without even trying, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Because it just comes to me. The downside of it is sometimes I don't often get out to see bands that I would like to see.
Yeah,
if I'm like stuck there.
Yeah. 'Cause you're basically doing like every Thursday to Saturday, I guess, right?
Yeah, all Thursdays, Saturdays. For the longest time, I was doing open mic too, but like you said, you've had him on here. We have Jordy down there now, and he's been crushing it, Yeah. And also busy as all hell with all the bands he's in and whatnot, and pickup gigs that he does. Yeah.
Also, congratulations are in order. I saw you got engaged to Haley.
Yeah, I don't have a ring or anything, but I got this Harvest Moon bracelet, and I plan not to take it off until until the wedding day, I suppose. We'll see if it stays on. It might crust
Yeah.
off. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
So,
I got to wear something.
yeah.
But yeah, no, we're very happy, very stoked, and, got a lot of planning to do for that,
Yeah. Hey.
like, obviously, but it'll go fast. I know. I'm sure Haley will handle, like, like 90% of the planning. She always, like,
Mm.
shits on me for my planning abilities because I like to fly off the seat of my pants a lot of times. And, she's very much more organized than I am in
Mm.
that manner.
Nice. How did you guys meet, like, through the scene, I guess? Or, like, how
Yeah,
did that
through
happen?
music.
Yeah.
Well, actually, through playing in Show Pony for over the couple of years that we played together in that band. Um, then, well, she left Show Pony a little bit before I did, but yeah, I think I stuck around for another 6 months after she was gone. But yeah, no, it's you know, um, I think we played together for a year or so, and then started dating or
Mm-hmm.
whatever around then. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good band too. All of them, off doing great things right now. They just played at the Burt block party last
Yeah.
month, I believe, with Marianas Trench or whatever,
Yeah.
and I can't remember who else was on the bill, but it looked like a stacked lineup as I
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah.
I went and watched the show because I had to work that night. Again, one of those things where I had to work the night that they were playing. So I went down because they started before I had to go to my shift, and I just watched it from the street corner adjacent to the stage or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just looked like I was like begging for change out there, having a cigarette, watching the bands. It was great. Yeah.
And so you had joined Show Pony, like, after they had formed, and then,
No,
or did you
actually,
form it?
I helped form it. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
I would say like, well, at the time I lived with the drum player, Nick, and he had been inviting Minot down, um, because none of us had played. It was kind of like through COVID, and at one point Nick had played in the band Moontan in town here, and he ended up leaving that band and wasn't really playing too much music at that point. And as during COVID, everybody's getting all depressed because you got
Yeah,
nothing to do,
yeah.
right? So he would invite Minot down, who at the time also didn't have a band because that dissolved. She used to play in a band called Silence Kit, and they would jam in my basement. And I knew them both pretty well because all our bands used to play together. But yeah, they just invited me down to jam. Needed a guitar player because Minot was just starting to play guitar, kind of, and she was writing songs and whatnot, and they were turning out good, but they needed some like accompaniment and whatnot, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And so yeah, that's kind of how that all started. And then we ended up getting Thomas Cram in there, who's quite a bit younger than all of us at that time, or still, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was like a perfect fit. Like
Nice.
played, he mostly I think played in like cover bands at that time. So he was like, his chops were like super like country bar tight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then we just kind of had to figure out what kind of music to play. And then later on, Haley joined the band, like, I don't know, a year after we started or something like that. And then, yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
Because we had no bass player. We just like, and because we couldn't really play shows anyways, it didn't really matter. We would just, write the songs, record a demo, and add bass after the fact or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Until she joined.
Right.
Yeah. But initially, that band, like, we tried doing a whole bunch of different things. Like, it was supposed to be like a punk band, and then we thought, oh, maybe we'll do like new wave, and then we landed on like cowpunk kind of at first,
Mhm.
and now it's ever shifting. They're kind of doing more of like I don't know, like an alternative rock type thing or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, really
Sick.
sweet though. Like, love the people in the band. Now they got like Rob Neggs playing guitar and Morgan Davis on bass, and I used to play with Morgan in a band called Soul Hounds,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
I
Yeah,
heard that stuff.
yeah,
That was a solid record you guys had, or like the.
Yeah, I wasn't on that record. I was like a live guitar player for them, but I
Okay.
played with them for quite some time. And recently they did a show that I joined them for, like a reunion show or whatever. So
Sick.
it was really sweet. Yeah. We did a whole set of Soul Hounds and a whole set of what we called Soul Twain, like Shania Twain tunes, but in the style of Soul Hounds.
What?
Yeah,
That's
dude. And that
crazy.
took like a long time to put together. Like, I think we practiced for like almost a whole year leading up to the show because we had to like write a whole new set of like these like Soul Twain covers and then like
Mm.
just really internalize them, you know? So
Yeah.
it took quite a bit of effort, honestly. It was a lot of fun. And actually, one of Minot's old bandmates from her band's previous band, Silence Kit, Mike Piscucci, used to be their drummer. He did the light show for us, and it was like phenomenal. He's always on tour with like these big acts touring the world doing lights, and he luckily was in town during that show, and we hit him up, and he gave us the
Nice.
friends discount and whatnot.
Nice.
Not free, I mean, like, but it
Yeah.
was a good discount comparatively to what he's worth,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
The light guy is sick.
Yeah, man.
That's a goal. One day, play a
Hey,
show
you know
with
what?
a dedicated light guy.
It's easier than you think,
Right?
honestly. Like, and I think it like really elevates shows
Yeah.
sometimes, you know. Um, like my old band Tusk, and that's kind of why Scooch actually got into lights initially was because my old band Tusk, we always would like, those like LED lights you can get from Long McQuaid or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, we'd always tell the sound tech turn off all the lights, and then we would set up with our show a whole bunch of our own lights or whatever, and then my brother would play while he's playing bass. We rented the foot controller that you could use to just change scenes, and
Okay.
he would just like change the light scenes all the time while we're playing.
That's really sick.
Which eventually, like Tyler's like, "Okay, I don't want to be changing these goddamn lights anymore," But
Yeah.
fair enough,
Yeah.
because he's
For
like
a while, it was fun.
he was getting rowdy, but
Yeah.
and then so we asked Scooch to do it for us, and it turned into like a trade that either my brother or myself would do lights for his band, and then
Mm.
he would do lights for us, and he just went like Michael. He just went hard in,
Mm.
like learning all the programs and like self taught himself like a lot of stuff about lights because before that he was mostly doing audio, and he was good too at audio, but
Hmm.
he really took a liking and shined doing his lighting stuff, no
That's
pun
cool.
intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a guy while I was traveling from like he's from London, somewhere in UK, but he was doing like crazy gigs lighting. He like did like Glastonbury
Hmm.
as like one of the like not touring with the bands there, but like one of the guys like posted up at Glastonbury for people coming in. But I think it's like a cool thing to get into and like no one does it. So it's like
Yeah,
yeah.
and you need more lighting people,
Yeah.
for sure. But and the thing about that is too, and it's like one of those things that can really elevate your show from just being about the music, and it gives it a visual element, which can be important, to help you become more recognized. Maybe not more recognizable, but how you always look, you see like a little piece of foil and on the ground or something, and light catches its eye, it shines back off it, and you immediately notice it, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
it's like it's one of those types of things. It's like you're catching a visual sense and an auditory
Yeah.
sense at the same time, and it's like uplifting
Yeah,
for
definitely
sure.
elevates it to be just a lot more professional. Like
Oh,
we're
totally.
we're really here.
But that's stuff like I don't think many people even tend to think about. Some people never get to that thought
Yeah.
even. I don't know why, but it doesn't, and that's the other thing too. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes people play for different reasons.
Mm.
Some people play for fun and like, they do the open mic thing and just get to be
Mm.
social, and other people take it far more seriously and
Yeah, yeah,
want to better their performance or their show or
yeah,
whatever it is
yeah.
consistently. Yeah.
And the lights is something too that I feel like even as a concert goer, you don't really think about until like, but you just like know that it still impacts
Oh,
the vibe, the
totally.
experience.
Well, like, it could that's one thing. Some things are just fine enough, you know what I mean? And it's like you'll go to a show and the show kicks ass. And yeah, if, you know, the band's lit up, you're not even thinking about it,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes. But it's one of those things where if it's happening and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking insane or whatever,
mm.
like that's, like I said, you might not necessarily need it, but it can certainly impress
Oh
people
yeah, yeah,
watching.
yeah,
Yeah. Then the more you do, like it might be cheesy, but sometimes, it's good to coordinate your outfits to some
yeah,
degree, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Or I mean, yeah, you guys do in
yeah,
Banana Crisis. You
yeah.
guys, got your little spot of yellow, bandanas or
Mm.
whatever and stuff like that, right? Like, it's good to have a look or something that's recognizable that differentiates you from everybody else in the room.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be upscale or anything. It just has to be something, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Or in just like coordinating fits, like you can't have like two band members on like completely opposite vibes,
yeah.
like you meet somewhere in the middle.
And if that is the goal, make sure you're all communicating about it,
Or yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. Or like when we think about it a lot is you can't have like one odd man out. That
yes,
like we
at
can't
the
have like
very
we can't
least.
have like one person in a t-shirt and then everyone else is like a little more dressed up. Like we can't have,
Totally. I
yeah.
mean, like and I mean, like I've seen some crazy stage outfits. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and then to have that one person sitting in the corner wearing sweats or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, or a Hawaiian shirt and they got shorts and sandals on, and it's just not the vibe of the rest of the band. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you get into sound?
um, well, I got into sound at a really young age because my dad was a musician, and we lived in a small town, and there wasn't too many people out there doing sound and stuff like that for like socials and whatnot. So
Mm.
he would often get hired, like his band or like just himself, to either DJ or supply a band and do sound. So we would go there and set up the sound systems and whatnot. Like when I was like, I don't know, like 12 through my teenage years or whatever,
Mm.
and then set up the sound systems. I think when I was about 14, he started getting me to do sound for the bands or whatever. Um, which, you know, mostly at that point, I was just, he'd be like, "No, don't touch that fucking dial." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just make sure if it starts feeding back, then you touch it.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? And it was just like, just learning like how to, how to set up systems at that point, more or less,
right.
and then you start fiddling with knobs even though you were told not to because whatever,
Yeah.
and you just that was basically it. And then I don't know, it took me years to actually move to the city, um, where all the sound jobs would be or whatever. So I ended
Mm.
up doing that like with him quite a bit, anyways, out there. And I was a welder for the longest time and stuff
Mm.
like that, and kind of like started really hating that in a way because it's like just dirty work and you know just not my passion in
Right.
life. I was playing a lot of guitar and stuff too, and trying to be in bands in the city, and commuting from my small town was hard. So I moved to the city and, started pursuing more production jobs and stuff like that. And that's where I started doing, like all the random, debates and shows, like random shows,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then yeah, now we're here.
Mm.
Basically, I mean, there was a lot of those random shows for a
Yeah.
number of years, and honestly, like early on, doing freelancing was not. It's hard in the beginning, and then like kind of end up um you end up like I guess acquiring a base of people, and then you all of a sudden get all the jobs eventually, you know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like,
right.
or at least all the offers. You don't necessarily have to take all the jobs,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And so are you doing that now as well? Like,
Mhm.
when will you do?
Yeah, I've been freelancing now for like, well, I don't know, somewhere like 13 years now.
Mm,
Like, um, there was a stint of a job, like I did audio visual at the university for a little while too, but pretty much just exclusively freelancing now for like, I don't know, probably 12 years.
sick.
Yeah.
And so you'll do like guys early in the week, like people have a show, they'll hit you up.
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes you get even less notice than that. I've had, like, I still get a lot of production companies reaching out to see if I'm available to do sound and whatnot. This one guy who will go nameless, but it's like without fail, once a week he'll message me like the day of, like it'll be like 11 o'clock. He's like, "Hey, got this going on at 3 o'clock or whatever." It's like, can you make it down here? I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I'm in the middle of a mix or something. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't.
Yeah.
That's the one downfall is a lot of it happens really rapidly.
Mm.
Like
Why is that though? Like once you book the gig, don't you just?
because I think they also get like I think production companies also are an afterthought sometimes to a lot of people. So
Mm,
I mean, certain things like if Festival is coming up or if like those are annual gigs or Icelandic festivals coming up, you know that you're gonna get that gig,
mhm.
but then there's all these other fill-in gigs that are much smaller and like you never know. I guess they don't think about it, their organizations just don't think about it to plan
Mm.
for that. And I feel like they get a lot of last minute calls and then they scramble to find techs themselves or people to help set up or
Right.
whatever.
Okay.
I don't know at what end of the pyramid it messes up at,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
somewhere within that structure, it definitely falls apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, you've been doing a lot more recording now
Yeah,
too,
totally.
engineering. What's that been like recently?
It's been good. It's been like I've always like kind of dabbled in it. Like again, when I was like I think for my 16th birthday, I got like a little 8-track machine or whatever, and that was wicked. That kind of was my first take at recording,
Mm.
and I did it terribly.
Mm.
Like every kid in
Classic.
their bedroom with a 8-track recorder would do. And it I, I don't know, always dabbled, always recorded demos, and then I don't know, it hit me one day that I'd recorded 2 albums early on for a band I had called Burnt Out Sun, and I think we did like 17 songs between the 2 albums, and I think it would have cost us at the time like something like I don't know, like about $1,000 a song to record. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And I was like, well, I half-ass know how to do this. I'm
Right,
like, I'm gonna
right.
figure this out a bit more. And then so for um, the next band I was in, Tusk, I didn't record the first album, but had recorded all the demos, and I'd recorded what was to be the second album. And we broke up before that, so it never saw the light of air. But I do quite like it, even to this day. And then when it came to Show Pony, where it's like, okay, well, this is COVID. We can't really do much right now. So we ended up just recording it ourselves. And that
Mhm.
was like really, I would say, like the kickoff of me starting to do a lot more recording seriously,
Yeah,
maybe, or trying to take it more seriously,
yeah,
anyways, and stuff like that. And then, yeah. And then from there on, like, obviously, I've never really actually advertised for any of that I do recordings other than
yeah,
being at the tap house and I meet people and we get to talk about it and
yeah,
sometimes I'm like here, if I like the band I'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
like yo do you guys want to do something sometimes and
yeah.
I'd say like pretty good return from that, maybe, I
Yeah.
suppose. So it's again, it's another like silent perk of, I guess, working as a sound engineer for bands more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like another thing that got me into it is, like I said, it back then and even now, it's so expensive to record.
Mhm.
And I know that struggle from being a musician. So I try and give like the clients that I have a really good rate. And I try and make it people who are really good, who need good work done and can't afford it typically. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or like are starting out or something
Right.
like
Right.
that. You know, not to say they couldn't afford it, but like that need a little bit of a help in
Yeah.
the right direction for a fair cost, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, it's crazy out there, you know. To I think one of the best things you can do as a musician is learn how to record yourself, honestly, because you'll save so much money in the end.
Mhm.
And really, when you're, you know, things shouldn't be all about saving money, but if you're planning on doing music, you know, at a large scale, you're going to need to figure out how to get costs a bit lower, because it's
Mhm.
not cheap to get across the country and do tours and stuff like that. So wherever you can save money, the better, you know.
Yeah. It's already such a tedious process to record an album, and so
Totally.
much work, and then to have to put fucking 10 grand on it or whatever is just like,
No,
jeez.
like
Yeah.
definitely. Like, I mean, and 10 grand isn't even like a crazy
Yeah.
number, honestly,
Yeah.
for an album. Like, I can foresee definitely a lot of, like, if you had, yeah, like I think on average you'd have to say that $1,000 is probably a fair average at a studio per
Yeah.
song, which is outrageous, honestly. I understand why it is, but it's just like, to me, I'm like, this is unfeasible for most people,
Yeah.
most bands, anyways. You know, when they're playing and I mean, some bands, fair enough, do well and they get good attendance, but there's a lot of bands out there that, you know, need a need a little bit of a
Yeah.
helping hand in that
Yeah.
regard, you know. So
Yeah. But you've done some really cool shit. You did Kingsway's record, which I loved.
yeah, those guys
The
are awesome, a lot of fun,
Yeah.
um, and it was a really good recording process. Got to know all the boys really well, and they're, like you said, like they're a great group of guys, and we really experimented on a lot of aspects of that album too, because I feel like I really grew in that recording
Mm.
session, honestly. Like, because they're very different. They want like this, like, you know, 19 like 70s kind of rock and roll vibe or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
And so we tried to keep it as traditional to that as possible while recording, and like, and just messing around with random stuff like banging on pots and pans to get percussion sounds, and like using real organs and stuff like that that I have in my
Yeah.
house and stuff, and just getting crazy
I did.
sounds.
I had Trent on
Oh yeah, did
the
you?
other day,
Nice.
and yeah, he was going on about like. Well, first of all, I didn't know your space was that insane. He was like, "There's like a wall of amps." He's like, "Yeah, you got
Yeah.
organs, you got the
Yeah.
kit, everything." I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then he's like, "Yeah," he mentioned like the pots and the pans. Like there's like a Coke bottle or
Yeah,
something on the
yeah.
track.
Yeah,
That's cool.
we were trying to toss everything at that section. It's in I can't think of which song that is right now, but I think it's called Don't Lie, maybe. And in the midsection it just drops down, and it's like this really, like, I don't know, like kind of like psychedelic, like Who moment that's happening. We're just like trying to, I got a
Right,
rain
right.
stick going in there and
Yeah,
stuff, like just all
yeah,
this crazy, like all the instruments you'd see at Folk Fest, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Totally. Yeah, but they were a very fun project, and I really am happy with the way that record turned out,
Mhm.
for sure.
And then, did you mix anything on that as well, or did you
No,
just record it?
just like tapes for them at the end of the day, but they had Riley Hill from No Fun Club mix that album.
Okay, dope.
Yeah. But honestly, you compare the album to like just the raw tracks even, and it's pretty damn close. Like he was very light on his mix in a good way, you know, like
Yeah. Well, I think for something like that, you want this kind of rawer sound. It's
yeah,
like
totally.
very just
Yeah, it
vintage.
was
Like,
very like grounded, and it was
yeah,
very pretty much like you could have tossed up the levels kind of vibe, you know what I mean? And it was pretty close to what it was
yeah,
already, which is nice because it's it's a compliment when the mixing engineer doesn't mess with the
yeah,
recording
yeah,
engineer's
yeah,
stuff too much. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Obviously, it was done
yeah.
okay. I think.
It's like completely different. You get back, you're like, what? Like, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah,
But obviously, you know, you still have to do certain things, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
expect that.
yeah.
No.
And then yeah, you did Haley's
Yeah, the
first
first
album.
album with the Haleys, and that was, I think that also helped get a lot of people in too, as well, or get a lot of people contacting me as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a fun record to make. It was they did like a 10 song album as well, and helped them out with that, and they've just been crushing it as always.
Mhm.
They recorded their last one with Aiden Clark, who's another person you should probably get on here at
Oh yeah.
some point. Does sound at Side Stage. I'm sure you know
Oh, cool.
Aiden.
I actually don't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, he's a really good tech in town, and he actually played in the Bush tribute with me as well.
Oh, sick.
Did drums. Started off as the drummer for the Love Letters early on. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Anyhow, uh, but yeah, he did their second record, and it sounds amazing as well. Different vibes. Some of the songs are a little bit more pop,
Yeah.
production focused or whatever, but I really like that. It sounds good for their style.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think
think so
when at
too.
the time we were more focused on like they were very much writing these like I don't want to say it's like AC/DC style things, but it was more like classic rock
Yeah,
vibes or
yeah.
whatever.
Big time.
So again, we kept it more a little more raw and like what it really sounded like or whatever within the
Mhm.
room and stuff like that for that
Mhm.
record. And yeah, but they're doing great things right now. They just played with the Beaches 2 months ago and
Yeah, I saw that though.
did
That's
a little
big.
trip out to Toronto and worked with a producer out there, which the songs that they made sound incredible. Actually, yeah.
Oh, nice. So that new one's not out yet, hey?
Not out
Yeah,
yet, no,
yeah.
not these ones.
Sick.
And I'm not too certain what the plan is. You'll have to have them on here
Yeah,
maybe and
yeah,
chat with them too.
yeah.
But they've got a lot on the horizon for sure coming up.
Sick.
Have you ever played with them before?
We did one. Yeah, it was like it was a weird one. It was like a charity thing. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
a couple years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. They slap.
Yeah, those types of events can always be interesting. I've
Yeah,
did a lot of those as well.
yeah,
It's like all these people in like suits coming to some lunch or whatever, and these old ladies and whatnot. And you're like, are you all ready to rock? And it's like, no.
yeah. It was like a night show.
Was
So
it?
it was
Okay.
like yeah, it was like a decent crowd, but it was just like a weird I don't know, just like a weird vibe. It wasn't like
Yeah.
bar,
I mean,
like
I mean,
energy. It was a
not
little weird.
not shitting on charity. Obviously, that is
No,
good,
for
but it
sure.
can obviously it can be an odd
Yeah,
environment to play at
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
like an
yeah,
original band,
yeah,
especially. I
yeah,
feel like those events typically, you know, they need loungier
yeah,
things like you know, a piano player playing jazz versions of the greatest of Michael Jackson hits or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Then what else you got? You did Solaire's. Is that everything
Yeah,
that
Solaire.
Sol?
Everything
So,
that
yeah.
Solaire's released, they're really cool. They reached out to me with like a couple demos that they had, and I really liked their stuff that they were doing. Like, kind of reminded me of like Metric or like
Oh yeah,
Paramore, like somewhere in between there,
yeah.
in that area, anyways, of the music genres. Um, and yeah, they've been really fun to work with. Their singer, Scarlett, who I believe is like one of the primary songwriters, along with Emmanuel Bongar. Um, they just write incredible music, and she's like a really good singer.
Hmm.
And It's high energy music, which I'm always,
Yeah.
most about that. I feel like I do like all sorts of music. I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Um, Not saying I'm forced to, but I can always find something nice about the music, no matter what it is. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it's like Latin music or rap music or so forth. But I just really do enjoy like high intensity music, more or less.
Yeah. I tend to gravitate there as well.
Like I grew
Like.
up listening to like a lot of like Pantera and Slipknot and like Nirvana and Alice in Chains and stuff like that. So I had as when I was younger, I definitely had quite an aversion to pop music and stuff like that. But as I've done more of what I do now, like audio, I've learned to love different aspects of music.
Mm.
I feel,
Yeah.
but there will always be a place in my heart for mixing and recording punkier and more upbeat tunes. So that's mainly one of the reasons why I wanted to work with them too,
Mm.
as well. And again, like I said, they're a young band trying to like trying to get past like recording budgets and
Yeah.
playing
Yeah. Yeah.
live, and they're quite ambitious too. Um, they've been working really hard to consistently release music, I would
Mm.
say.
Mm.
I think they have another session booked with me coming up in October to do another 4 tunes or so. I think we've already done 5 together, I believe.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be good. They just gotta wait to finalize their arrangements, I suppose, or
Mm.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, speaking of them being ambitious, this is something I just thought of because our band was looking for funding
Mm-hmm.
and very difficult to get because we sent in this whole thing and it was like a preliminary thing, like to get like feedback on our application and then to resend the application properly.
Yeah.
And then the feedback is basically like, yo, like you don't have plans to tour, you don't have like he's like, yeah, you need a solid plan to tour like outside the city, and like you need like a like what's your like marketing thing, what's your
Totally.
like but it was like so in depth that it was like, yo, like who even is this for?
It's funny when you fill that type of stuff out because one of my like Soul Hounds, we went on tour like I don't know in 2016, I think it was. It's 2017 or whatever. The date's irrelevant, but we had applied for a grant
Mm.
to get money for touring because like we were gone for I don't know 2 weeks or something like that, and excuse me, the beers.
Mhm.
Spent most of the time down in Toronto, which is not cheap because you have to pay for like I think we paid like $1,000 for like a parking space because you have to buy like
Oh
rent a parking
shit,
space
yeah,
in Toronto,
yeah.
right? It's like it was crazy. Um, but yeah, so we needed help and we applied for the grant. We got rejected, and their reasoning for the rejection was that it said plans are too ambitious, needs better photos. Was basically the 2 points that
That's funny.
they clocked us
Yeah,
on.
you want to do too much.
Yeah.
Um,
And the funny thing about wanting to do too much is that we were actually already doing that. Like we were already executed halfway through executing the plan, and we're about to finalize executing the plan, and we still did without their help.
wow, yeah.
But it was just like, yeah, you're too ambitious and your photos need to be better was
Yeah.
basically their two reasonings.
It's like, well,
And
we'll do it anyways, and maybe you can pay us for photos.
yeah.
Like,
And like, oh, like the joke in the tour bus was like, oh, we need, next thing we come out with is going to be a photo album, and it's going to be like titled Less Ambition,
right?
Better Photos. And it was just going to be
Yeah.
a bunch of like photos of
Yeah.
us, like, like maybe sitting on the can and reaching for the roll of toilet paper, and there's no toilet paper there. And it's just like, but in
Yeah.
really good quality photo,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
really good
quality.
quality
Yeah, yeah,
photo,
yeah.
because we needed better
That's funny.
photos
Yeah,
and to be a bit less ambitious.
yeah,
So it's funny, man. They'll say anything.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fact of the matter is like it's tough for most bands to get grants.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Well, we realized after going through that, we're basically like, okay, this is like they're looking for like the top whatever 1% of like absolute elite bands who are like basically gonna do it anyways, who are
Totally.
gonna achieve what they want to, and they'll just like give you a little
It's
hand.
it's tough to say that it's even the top of the bands. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I genuinely
yeah,
don't think that it has anything to do with their talents, or I do believe full-heartedly that it has most to do with accessibility, like to a broad audience.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I feel like we were like a metal band who was quite ambitious, you know what I mean? And or a hard rock band, whatever, but we weren't going to be everybody's cup of tea, certainly. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And that's not news to us.
Mhm.
But bands like that still need help, and I feel like they don't get help a lot of times
Mm.
because it's less accessible. And then you'll get like, not shitting on Taylor Swift, but you'll get the Taylor Swift wannabe gets the grant, and you know what I mean?
Right,
Typically, or
right.
like something like that, whatever. Like the Bruno Mars guy will
Because
get
they
the
have a
grant.
good story and they have a good
Yeah,
image and
yeah, and
like
they're
yeah,
whatever. Good for them.
yeah,
Not shitting on them, but it's just like that's the way those organizations, I feel like MFM and Factor and stuff like that, they
yeah,
look at that. I feel like a lot of
yeah,
times too, because yeah, like you'd send them music and it'd be like, oh, I don't like this kind of music and
yeah,
stuff like that. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
That's
You need better
yeah,
pictures and
yeah.
stuff.
You need to change genres.
hmm No, totally. Because you see the same faces get the same grants all the time,
Mm.
and even if they're not the same faces, they resemble the old face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It,
Yeah.
it's not, if you look at it long enough, you see.
Yeah. That's
But
funny.
it's all good.
Yeah.
I think it just
It's cool that it
makes you
exists
fight
at
harder.
all.
It
Yeah.
is
Like,
cool that
yeah.
that it exists at all. That's true. There's many places that don't have grants, and it's good to be a part of a community that has that,
Hmm.
because yes, without it, it would be even harder because Winnipeg's almost inescapable.
Mm.
I think that's also why some other communities don't do grants, because they have so much going on. Like Toronto doesn't, like, if you live in Ontario, you don't need grants because there's like so many people there, and there's like so
Right.
many
Right.
different
Right.
communities easily accessible. But here, I feel like just to get out to the next closest thing is Regina,
Yeah.
which isn't that exciting, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and even to Toronto, it's like, I don't know, 18-hour drive
Yeah.
away or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Might as well be a different country.
No, totally. And it's just like it's very hard to get out of Manitoba.
Yeah.
Like, so whenever you do get the opportunity, definitely do it. But if the opportunity arises,
So how did that tour go with
oh, it went
Sohan?
excellent. Like, yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We went all the way out to Montreal that time and ended in Ontario. It was like about 2 weeks. We basically hung out in Toronto for a whole week, and then we hit all the satellite cities around Toronto,
Mm,
like
yeah.
Hamilton, St. Catharines, uh, you know, uh, whatever is around there, Windsor, a bunch of different Guelph and stuff like that.
Mm,
Played some really good shows. Played some shows that were very unsuccessful as well while we were down there. I think
mm,
one of the first dates in the can't, I think it was Guelph. We played at this place that's like, I don't know, like kind of like the West End Cultural Center size
okay.
maybe, and there was like seven people
No
there. Dude,
way.
it was so crazy,
Uh,
but
were they
whatever.
enjoying it though? Were they
They
having a good
loved
time?
it.
That's good.
They actually ended up coming out to the show we played in Toronto, which was far better attended, but
Oh, that's
you know what I
fun.
mean. But
That's
yeah,
fun.
tour of life is it's hit and miss. I like some aspects of it, and I hate a bunch about it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like, the only goal is to obviously play the show, but while you're there, there's like you can't really go too far from the venue. You can't really, like there's not a lot of free time, so you can't really get to explore. You don't
Yeah.
get to explore too much. It was nice to be staying in Toronto for that time because I think we had like a day or two off that we used to go check out some markets or something in
Hmm.
Toronto, and that was nice. But touring's not that fun generally, and
Hmm.
it's like you get really sore really fast because you're like moving. It's like you're moving like 4 times a day. You know what I mean? And
Right,
and
right,
I'm not
right.
sleeping a lot
Yeah,
either.
yeah,
Cause like, yeah, it, you get out of the venue late and you have to move your stuff into the hotel room or wherever it is you're staying after you've already moved it like 4 or 5 times that day.
yeah,
You got like all these heavy amps. And maybe that's the better thing nowadays because you can take like your modeler amp or something. Maybe if you do go on tour, it might be advised to take modeler
yeah,
amps or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But certainly, it's not that glamorous.
No.
And it also like I feel like if you did it quite a lot, you would begin to miss home quite a lot. I feel like, or at
Yeah,
least I would. And
yeah,
I don't. I like to have a home base.
yeah. Me too.
Like stick around. I go back and forth about this in my mind quite often, but I'm like, is it important to play live shows or is it just important to release music? And I think a lot of the times the way my mind leans is that it's more important to release music than it is to even play live shows. Because I
Hmm.
feel like, well, a lot of the bands that I listen to, I've never even seen ever.
Hmm.
Like especially when I was a kid, but you grow up and you just love them no matter
Right,
what, even
right.
if you've never seen them. And I feel like that is easier to do nowadays than it ever was. Like previously, like I don't know, when I was a kid, you'd either, well, at first it was like you'd have to go buy a CD, but then whatever, like LimeWire, Napster, and Kazaa or whatever
Hmm.
came around at some point, and you could download stuff, but like you, I didn't ever see any of those bands. I just took a chance on them usually, like because the CD was cool or like
Yeah.
like the name sounded sick or something like that, and you're like, and a little edgy kid, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this, whatever it is, like down with the sickness or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, I do think, and that's the other thing. Like again with the recording thing, I always thought or not always, but often come to the conclusion that it's better to have music to release than it is to play the 20th bar show you've played. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
In the last year or something like that.
yeah.
I understand the bands need to make money somehow, but it would almost be better to work a day job, toss $100 every paycheck
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
fund, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
just say,
yeah,
"Oh, we're gonna record a shit ton of tunes."
yeah.
But
I guess it depends on the show, right? Like, cause like some of my favorite bands, I only know because I saw them
that is
live,
true too.
like usually festivals.
Yeah.
Um, so if it's like a more like a high profile event, then like makes sense to do like that so you can make new fans.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But yeah, you're not probably making a single fan playing a bar gig,
No.
like
Well, rarely.
yeah,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
you
not
you,
well,
you will, but
not rarely. I shouldn't say that. I've definitely primarily that's been the way I've done things. Is obviously you play a lot of bar gigs and you
yeah.
get known within the city. I think it is important for bands who are starting out, like who've never been in the scene before.
Well, yeah, you need the stage experience
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
yeah,
You need the stage experience and you need to network with people.
yeah.
And the more you network and play live, the better you'll get at playing live. And not only that, but then the more people you know, the better outreach you'll have immediately, right?
Mhm.
So there is a point when I do believe, yeah, it is better to play live because that's an inevitability that you have to do that at a
Mhm.
certain point, anyways. But after a while, like I don't know. I feel like I know as many people as I need to in Winnipeg, or not as I need to, but as many people. Um, I know a vast majority of people in Winnipeg, so I don't need to go out and play to meet them. I can release something, and I
Right.
think a lot of people will see it anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for younger artists, yeah, it's certainly important for them to play live.
Yeah.
And it's also, I feel like at a certain point, once you start playing too many shows, you get diminishing returns
Yeah, for
as
sure.
well.
It's like, yeah, we're kind of on that now with Crisis. We're like, take a break, focus on recording, and then we'll do like, a show every like 3-4 months, something like that.
Totally.
And then it's like an event when we do have a show.
And that's exactly it. And you can put more thought into that. And going back to the thing like we were talking about lights, it's like making it an event is important. If
Yeah.
you're playing every week, it's not an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a whatever run of the mill thing that I can see you any week anywhere that I want to basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not you, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
but if you make it an event and you only play your hometown, and maybe you do play, but you play like you poke out to Regina or you poke out to like other towns or cities just to get like a little bit of a broader range, but just not always in the same city or town. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can always still stay busy playing and just do it in other communities as well as another thing.
Yeah.
Um, where was it going with that? But yeah, I think like yeah, the event thing. I think yeah, if you play less often and put more thought into each specific show, you can really curate the night and almost make it like a big party,
Yeah. Yeah.
versus it just being the run of the mill thing that you're gonna see every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I could also even just like it would create more of an incentive for people to go because it's
totally.
like, well, they're not just playing every week, right?
Yeah,
And then I almost feel like too, if you are playing every week, people might just never see you because there's like, oh, I could do this any week, and they just
oh,
never
and that's
do.
also true.
Right?
Yeah, you could like say, "Oh, I'm gonna put this off till next
Yeah,
time."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
never really think about it that way, but yeah.
yeah,
And also, if you're only playing like once every 3 months, that's a lot of time to like maybe write a couple new tunes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
exactly, yeah,
it can actually push your band forward in a different
yeah,
way, in a different sense or whatever. Because if you have all that extra time, you can, oh, maybe we'll change the ending of this
yeah,
song the way we've been doing it, really catch people off guard and figure out ways to blend one song into another
yeah,
really
yeah.
smoothly and stuff like that.
One, because we'll get caught up in like if you have a show in a couple weeks, it's like that's all you're kind of
Yeah.
really can think about, right? Like you're not really working on new stuff. It's just show, like set,
Yeah,
set, set,
totally.
set, set. And so yeah, if it's always coming up, like you just keep running through the set, and a lot of the songs, because like right now we're like the last episode was like half and half covers originals, and we want to move to like basically an all original set.
Hmm.
So yeah, like running through all these covers, we're like, okay, like this is getting us like tighter as a group, but like
It's
it's
not
not
getting
really what we want to like long term be doing.
totally. Yeah. It's not advancing your band in any meaningful way after a certain point. Like you said,
Yeah,
does get
yeah,
you tighter at first, but then beyond that, you're like, okay, well, I'm tight enough as I need to be anyways, and
yeah,
then maybe we should focus on what's happening right here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys? So you guys are like working towards like a almost a fully original set now,
Yeah.
like nine or
Yeah.
halfway
Well,
there. Or what?
we got the whole album is written.
Yeah.
It'll
Sweet.
be like 11 or 12 tracks.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And then yeah, should be like we're recording like one every month or so. We still
Oh,
haven't
good.
started from since the songs we already have out like last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be coming out late next year.
Nice, man.
And then that right there is most of the set. And
That's
then
perfect.
yeah, throw in a couple of covers and we're rocking.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have Shelby drum on them?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, dude. Shelby is one of the sickest drummers in town for sure.
Yeah, man.
He's like, I recorded. He did. I don't know the first couple Solaire tunes, and there's other guy John who's been doing him. He's also really good too. But yeah, definitely Shelby was just crushing it down there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
His part writing's really good. He's like,
Yeah, he has a really good ear for like
yeah,
what's gonna
like
work.
and like just his groove and his swing. He has good feel. He
Mm.
hits hard, hits consistently, which I find, I've recorded a lot of drummers, and it like mixing is a lot easier if the drummer was very consistent in what they played, and like, but you can't always be blessed
Yeah.
as much as with
Yeah.
Shelby.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
He's really great. So sorry, when's that launching? The first one?
Uh.
Are you releasing it as singles or as all
Oh
in
yeah.
one
Yeah.
shot?
Singles will do like 5-ish singles
Nice.
to come, and then those 5 plus the 2 that are out plus like 4 or 5 more will be
Oh,
the album.
perfect. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's I that's the other thing I think that I mean, obviously albums are sweet, but bands I feel like need to release more singles
Yeah, and I
nowadays.
I don't love doing it, but like it is the meta right now.
Oh,
It's
totally.
for
It's
sure
like the
the
way
way
it
to do it.
goes.
Yeah.
And like I mean, I've definitely released lots of albums and EPs and stuff like that, but it's like I actually don't know if I would release another physical album right now. Like if
Hmm.
I was like I'm working on this other project for myself, and I'm like contemplating what the best approach is to release it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do it as singles digitally, but like physically, I was like, do I even do it physically? Like I don't even know. Like what's the
Yeah, I don't know, like we'll do some physical copies just because it's dope.
is it
Like that's
tapes
basically
or
it.
like tapes, albums, or
Uh,
vinyls or
I was
what?
thinking probably CDs and vinyl.
CDs?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like vinyls are sick because I like the big box, like the
Yeah.
big sleeve, and like you can toss like a poster in there and
Yeah.
you get like some
It's
whatever.
a
Like
cool merch sale. Like we all sign it. Boom.
yeah, totally.
It's.
And I do think that there's like quite a huge market out there for vinyl.
Hmm.
I saw a guy talking about it on YouTube once, and he was like, "Well, actually, right now vinyl outsells CDs and whatever." And I was like, "Man, that's crazy."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess it's probably
But
because it's I don't know. Well, obviously CDs are kind of whatever, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of they scratch easy, the jewel case gets broken or whatever.
I think it's like the sound is better on vinyl, but most of all, it's just fucking cool. It's
Yeah,
like a big thing.
totally. I think a lot of people take pride, well, some people take pride in like the stereo receiver that they got to attach to their turntable
Yeah,
and their
yeah,
whatever speakers they have and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's like there's some definitely like like high fidelity vinyl heads out there or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah. Now it's like I haven't bought a record in like 2 years because it's just insanely expensive.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
you can get them used, but obviously,
oh
but
yeah, totally. And some of those ones are the best ones to find,
yeah, yeah, often, yeah,
unless you're looking for your specific like, local hits or something like that.
yeah.
You know, and it's too bad because like they had that. Well, I guess you don't. Yeah, you're way out on the outskirts of Winnipeg
Hmm.
almost here. It's like, but they had like Sunrise Records in the mall, and they used to sell like local vinyls and stuff like that
Oh, they had
there. And
local there too. I didn't know that.
at one point, they did.
I only went in there once, I think, and I went through like literally the whole selection. I'm like, this is not great. I was not impressed.
Really, my
But
one band Tusk, we sold like a ton and like hundreds of dollars of CDs through them.
really, that's
Yeah,
sick.
and it was excellent. Like, um, we just go there at 1 month or whatever, drop off a bunch CDs and come back the next month, do the same thing, and we just kept selling them. I think it was due to the fact
Nice.
that we had like a yellow album, and it was just like again like one of those things very eye catching, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you look at it, it was like I don't know, I can't remember. We charged like $10 for it or something. It was like dirt cheap, like an EP,
yeah.
but they were selling. And I was like, oh,
That's
this is
so
awesome,
cool.
dude.
Because I also like I haven't done that in forever of just like buying a record that I don't even know what it is. I'm sure some people knew Tusk, but a lot of people were
Yeah,
just looking at it like, yo, dope cover, $10. Yep.
yeah. Well, like that's like how I got a lot of my albums as a kid.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
Yeah.
you would go into I don't know, HMV or whatever, and sit there and like hang out in the heavy metal aisle or the punk aisle and be like, I have no clue who this is, but it looks sick and
Yeah,
like I think I'm gonna love it.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
and they weren't crazy expensive. It's like
yeah,
I don't know, you'd pay like $15 or something like that,
yeah.
or you'd get two for 15, or you'd go to the deal bin or something like that. That's where you get most of those kind of
Right, right.
things. I remember I bought this one album once at Into the Music, and I honestly, I think it was a local band. I can't remember now, but the only reason I bought the album was because it had a song titled "Arms as Long as Cedar Trees," and I thought that was just ridiculous, and I loved it. You know, but certain things, and I think it's important to have stuff like that. Cool artwork and maybe songs with unique names or
Yeah,
stuff like that also
yeah,
helps sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't, but
I was gonna ask you, like, having done some touring and now you have like steady music jobs and gigs, things happening
hmm
in town. Would you go touring again? Would you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would. I'm in no like. I mean, I have no a like I said before, like not a great planner myself. I never had
Mm,
to book any of that stuff really,
mm.
and thankfully, because I hate doing that. But if it was booked and somebody asked me to do it, yeah, I would do it.
Sick.
Whether to do sound for it or to play in it, yeah. I wouldn't want to consistently do it forever, but
Yeah, yeah,
just for fun, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. It's not completely terrible, but for the longest time, like I think I don't know, like 10 or more years, like the only time I got to go anywhere on vacation was not even a vacation. It was because I was going on tour.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? It was just like,
I think it's always exciting and fun, but then everyone has a different line of like where it stops becoming exciting and
yeah,
fun
I
and
think that's
more.
like
Yeah,
day 9 or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then there's a hump where it gets a little bit better again, but then it's just like, you kind of catch like a second wind.
yeah, yeah.
But no, definitely not my favorite thing to do.
So what would you if you were to go for a tour like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Is that about?
I'd probably want to top it around 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, I could go
yeah,
for a month probably
yeah, yeah,
and be like still okay, maybe. So
yeah,
I said day 10 hits and you're 9 and you're kind of like going downhill a bit and then upswing happens
yeah.
again and then you
And then
could,
once the upswing is on
yeah,
the
that's exactly
downswing, then
it.
it's like get the fuck out of
It's probably like a pump up, pump down, pump up. We better start
here.
heading
Yeah,
home
yeah,
soon.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
yeah.
What about you? Have you ever been on tour before or
No,
plans to?
I have like loose plans to do something next year,
Yeah, yeah.
but it would just be by myself. I don't think I'd be able to
Oh,
get
yeah, yeah.
the band going.
That is the other thing too, and I think well, a lot of like, especially the money factor, like it's obviously going to be way cheaper to tour
Yeah,
as
yeah,
just like Andrew
yeah.
Boritz
And it would
and
even be like less than a third because I can even like
stay in your
accommodations
car
are just
or
like yeah,
something or
so much easier.
whatever.
Yeah, stay in my car, pitch a tent,
Yeah.
or playing at bars, be like, yo, anyone got a couch? Like
Oh,
it's
totally.
easy, you know.
Yeah, for one guy,
Yeah, yeah.
instead of
Instead of
like asking
four
for
guys, now it's like,
four
can
guys
we
who
bring a
haven't
party to
showered
your
all
house?
week.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, totally. No, yeah, that's sweet. But I think that even that, like the expense of everything, has dictated in a way how music is today. You see a lot more solo artists nowadays than I think you ever did at one
mm,
point. Like when I first started playing in the city, you would see solo artists, but like it was almost uncommon. And
mm,
I feel like nowadays that's bigger than it ever has been. Like, I feel like everybody is almost a solo artist and then they hire musicians nowadays.
yeah, yeah. It's big.
And I think like it's cool, like that's fine. And I think, you know, it's a good thing, but it's something I've noticed.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways.
it's also the way like music is recorded now. Like it's just easier if you're a
Yeah.
solo act to like put out a song,
Oh, totally.
whereas before like you would need to like get picked up by a label to have access to the session musicians and do everything, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing too, though. There is a lot of good players in town, like Shelby, guys who I've I've got to come down and do songs on for buddies of mine. Like I know you had Ryan on every
Mhm.
one of his songs. We've kind of brought in a new drummer for and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, you're saying that, yeah.
or I've played on it and or whatever. We've got like different people playing on it because it's just easy to connect with people in Winnipeg. You know,
Yeah,
like we all know the same people, and they're all, you know, you toss them $100 to do something, they'll do it. You know, it's like
yeah,
it's the way it is. Got to be
yeah,
fair to them.
yeah,
Back to the Java.
yeah, nice. I think we basically covered everything I wanted to talk about. Um, do
Excellent,
you have
man.
anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
No, nothing in particular. Like just lots more music to come, I'm sure, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
if anybody needs recordings out there, hit me up, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Dark and Sparkly on Instagram, or, you know, just run into me at the tap house and,
Yeah.
you know.
Thursday to Saturday, he'll be there,
Yeah,
killing
exactly.
it.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Anyways. But yeah, man, it's been great talking with you,
Yeah,
Andrew.
bro.
It's
Thanks for coming,
perfect.
Brett.
Thank you. Do we do like an outro song, or is this what we just like
You know, we could do an
fade
outro
to
song.
black? We start walking
Yeah, we
off into
usually
the
just
distance or
we usually
something.
just cut it, but
Yeah.
this has been In the Zone.
In the zone.